Tickets and a cassette coming on the back next time. Check Patrick Hill. Knock your socks off in their $1 million half-price sale.
There's two more.
Dive down toward the runway, and each would pull up into a position they would use to set up a landing pattern.
Yeah, watch his camera. We got the 50 going. We put the 16 in. Let's see. Oh, there we are.
Okay, taking a look to the right. You'll want to get your video cameras started at this time. In close trail formation, in the lead, Lieutenant Colonel Herb Hurst. Behind him, Major Terry Hobbs. Then Major Pat Lasson and Lieutenant Colonel Lou Meyer. The squadron commander of the 103rd. Keep your video cameras on the formation now as 1, 2, 3, 4 each. Pull up to a downwind. There's number 1 pulling up, number 2, number 3, and taking his on around to what we call the downwind portion of the traffic pattern. That part of the pattern that's parallel to the landing runway and in the opposite direction. Even though they came by in front of you in very, very close formation, in trail formation, as each pulled up, the other counted about 1-2 seconds, and then he pulled up, and that's what separated them and gave them that interval that they would use if they were actually going to land. Now perhaps we'll see them set up a landing pattern, perhaps make a low approach. I think they're going to be just making a low approach and flying down the runway. They've cleaned the airplane up. Normally at this point they'd be set up for a landing. The landing gear would be down, but I see the speed is picking up very rapidly. There goes Lieutenant Colonel Herb Hurst, Sandy 1. Sandy 2 in position, Major Terry Hobbs. Number 3, Major Pat Lasson. And number 4, the squadron commander, Lieutenant Colonel Lou Meyer. Sandy 1, 2, and 3, all airline pilots. The lead pilot, a 747 captain with United Parcel. The number 2, an AE-300, an Airbus AE-300 first officer. And in the number 3 position, Major Pat Lasson, a Boeing 737 first officer. And of course, we mentioned that the number 4 position being flown by the squadron commander, our full-timer from the 103rd. As all 4 aircraft join up once again, they're going to be heading back to Willow Grove. And we have representatives here from the 103rd and from the 111th Tactical Air Support Group. Their commander, Colonel Bob. He builds up now. He's going to need lots of speed because he's going to pull back on that stick, climb straight up. And you're going to watch this snap roll, a fully stalled maneuver as he continues to climb vertically, showing you the tremendous power of this aircraft and its rolling capabilities. And Jim now comes back into the demonstration zone, rolling and rolling and rolling that aircraft. That snap roll that he performed while he's climbing straight vertically, we mentioned a fully stalled maneuver. He pulls back on the stick of that aircraft very quickly, kicks in one rudder, and the aircraft gyrates right around its own length, precisely stopping it when Jim Roberts wants it to, completing a full vertical snap roll. Now another snap roll as he comes back down toward the demonstration zone. He's going to be using various maneuvers to turn the aircraft around from one end to the other, but as he comes by, he'll level the wings and we'll watch him perform a 4-point hesitation roll. Now changing that sequence just a little bit to suit the weather as Jim comes into the center of the demonstration zone. Another snap roll up on top of the loop. And diving right back down towards in an inside loop, but with a snap roll up on top. Now we'll watch as Jim pulls the aircraft vertically. He's going to turn the aircraft around. I think he's going to be, yeah, there he goes. Half roll on the way up. Now he's going to pull back on the stick slightly and dive straight back down toward the other end. This is an aerobatic maneuver that we use in competitions where you fly straight up, half roll, pull down through the other side. Has a very scientific name. We call that a Humpty Bump. That's all it's called. Okay, Jim Roberts back in. Through the demonstration zone, there's that 4-point hesitation roll that we told you about before. Roberts turning, oh, look at the rolling capabilities of that aircraft. How does he ever stay oriented with that show line that he's correcting to right now and diving down toward show center? Lots of speed building up on the Laser 200. Pulling back on the stick, he's going to climb straight vertically. We're going to watch Jim Roberts fly a world-class competition-style square loop straight across the top, holding it upside down in leveled inverted flight, reaching show center straight down toward the ground. Now back on the stick, full power coming on and straight out the demonstration zone, completing the square loop. Conditions out there to turn the aircraft around with, there's the climbing snap roll. He's going to perform that Humpty Bump maneuver once again. This looks like it's going to be a hammerhead. There it is, turning right around in its own length as he pivots the aircraft. Another snap roll. Got to snap that airplane as he dives back down. Jim modifying his normal sequence of events just slightly to accommodate our weather conditions here at Wilkes-Barre Scranton today. Back into show center, straight back on the stick. Quarter roll on the way up. Now bridging that aircraft over the top, much different than that hammerhead turn that you saw where the aircraft actually pivoted around its own length. He's using the tremendous rudder authority that's designed into this Laser 200, designed by Jim Roberts, who built this aircraft that he flies, and actually flying the aircraft in knife-edge flight over the top, turning it around, diving back down towards show center, completing that hesitation hammerhead or bridge as he came through the demonstration zone. Now back into the demonstration zone once again, maintaining his altitude. We're going to watch Jim Roberts as he slows the aircraft down towards stalling speed, now pushing over, getting just the right speed for these multiple snap rolls as he dives down on a 45-degree line. As we mentioned, a fully stalled maneuver, that snap roll, so he has to watch the exact speed. The speed can build up very, very quickly on the Laser 200. And as he stalls that airplane to start that snap roll, he has to be careful that he doesn't do that at too excessive a speed and overstress the aircraft, even though it's capable of G-forces of plus 12 and minus 12 times its own weight. Very, very strong wings. On this aircraft, originally designed by a fellow named Clayton Stevens and highly modified by Jim Roberts. Now upside down and pushing forward on that stick. We talked about those outside loops and those negative G-forces. As Jim pushes forward on that stick, those negative G-forces try to push him right outside that cockpit. Speed building up, G-forces building up as Jim pushes forward.
Is now repositioning his aircraft. He'll finish the maneuver just 500 feet above the ground, traveling at more than 400 miles per hour in the opposite direction from takeoff. This ability to accelerate rapidly is one reason the Eagle is known as the fighter pilot's fighter. As he approaches show center, Major Gorence will demonstrate the crisp handling characteristics of the F-15 by performing a precision 4 voice roll. Major Gorence is now beginning a series of turns that will inscribe a square over the field. At each corner, he will again demonstrate maximum performance, high G. Major Gorence is now approaching the field for a tactical pitch-up into the landing pattern. He'll pass us at 500 feet, then perform a rolling pitch-up as he reverses his direction and prepares for a low approach. When the Eagle was designed, it was the first fighter since... As Major Gorence completes the low approach, he'll light the burners and perform a left close up into the landing pattern for his final approach. Major Gorence is now decelerating through 300 miles an hour and lowering the landing gear and flaps. During the final turn for his landing, he'll hold approximately 150 miles an hour and touch down drag chute used by earlier supersonic fighters, and it can usually stop in less than 4,000 feet. Add its ability to take off from short runways, and you have a fighter that can safely operate from thousands of airfields around the world. Both the F-15 and the F-15E have played vital roles in the defense of this nation during Desert Storm. They represent your Air Force's dedication to global reach and global power, ensuring our ability to meet any challenge from any potential adversary, anytime, in any arena, under any conditions, anywhere in the world. They helped us gain total supremacy of the skies over Iraq and Kuwait, beating the enemy both in the air and on the ground. It was American Eagles that defeated every enemy aircraft that rose to meet them, without the loss of a single aircraft to enemy fighters. But as good as the Eagle is, time and technology are beginning to challenge its dominance. It first flew back in 1973. The airplane to replace it when the time comes is already off the drawing boards and in the air. It's the new advanced tactical fighter, the F-22 Lightning II, an airplane that will build on the lessons we've learned with the Eagle and combine the latest stealth technology with supersonic cruise engines and revolutionary new electronics. on behalf of our staff.
Okay, I see them starting a right-hand turn right now, so we're going to be parking them down there in the vicinity of the F-14s. You folks down there by the F-14s, cover up your ears. I see a few hands. Yep, I just saw somebody's umbrella drop down, so I think they're covering up their ears right now. Good.
Plane. Larry earlier described on how we do that, where one jumper is just to the left or right of the other jumper, and making very precise steering calculations. The bottom jumper basically steers his canopy right into the rear lines of the front jumper. Then the top jumper will then crawl down inch by inch, but rather briskly down the bottom jumper's lines and dock his feet just above the bottom jumper's hand. And on the left, we've got a biplane just with a third man docking into what we call a triplane. And in the center above, we've got smoke, identifying the highly maneuverable characteristics of these 218. As we're moving from left to right, we have a biplane, a single canopy, and then on the far right and a little low, we have our biplane that just transitions side by side into what we call a side plane. In the following routines, we will demonstrate the control and maneuverability a person has while falling through space by simply changing position of arms, legs, and torso. Oh my God, way up top on the left, traveling in speed straight toward the earth at 85 miles an hour, we have an extended drag plane. Yes, folks, two men just broke away. They're headed 90 miles an hour straight towards the earth. We have a down plane, ladies and gentlemen. They should be all braking just in the nick of time. Some of the most harrowing parachuting formations you'll ever see in your lives, right here, folks. Making final adjustments to landing corrections. From Gulfport, Mississippi, Vinny Darrow! And on your far left, from San Luis Obispo, California, Abe Laird. Landing his single canopy from San Diego, California, Pete Wright. How about a big round for Pete Wright? Ladies and gentlemen, we're doing a crowd line landing so that we can talk to each and every one of you if possible, so feel free to just yell, hey, you will throw a parachute on your back too. The U.S. Navy parachute team is the holder of 2 world records. The first record is the fastest 10-man speed star. It was completed in 0.57 seconds, which beat the Russian record by 1 full second. The record was retired in the same year, making final adjustments to the team. From Roxborough, North Carolina, Clyde Ellis. And right behind him, from Dayton, Ohio, Mark Crampton. In honor of all the U.S. Armed Forces serving in the Armed Forces since the United States was able to fly its American flag in the 1700s, flying in the POW flag, Pete Wright from San Diego, California. Ladies and gentlemen, making once again final corrections to the tee, I present to you the United States Navy Parachute Team, the Leapfrogs!